The dabbed light of the woodland, a tiny acrobat darts from branch to branch, bold, yet curious. Its coat of striking colours makes it hard to miss, and its sharp call seems to echo throughout the trees, announcing that it rules this little patch of woodland. Never still for long, it moves with confidence through the canopy, pausing only for a moment to inspect the bark, the leaves, and anything else that might be hiding a quick meal. Watch closely. Something clever and lively is about to make its entrance. So here it comes, the star of the woodland. And yes, the name really does live up to the reputation. Among these branches and tangled leaves, there's one small bird that seems to enjoy itself more than the most. Jumping from twig to twig, clinging to bark and investigating every corner as if nothing in the woodland should go unnoticed. Quick, curious, and always on the move, this energetic little character rarely sits still for long. This is the Great Tit. Standing at around 14 centimeters from the beak to the tail, with a wingspan stretching close to 24 centimeters. This small bird carries surprisingly a big presence in the woodland. In fact, the Great Tit is the largest member of Britain's tit family. This little performer wears a tuxedo of nature's design, a glossy black cap, crisp white cheeks, and a bright yellow belly that particularly demands attention. It's a true multitasker, hopping, clinging upside down, and inspecting every nook as if the woodland were its private buffet. Don't be fooled by its charming looks. This bird is clever, bold, and occasionally bossy, especially when it comes to claiming the best feeders. You might think you're watching a tiny angel, but really, it's a feathered critic with impeccable taste and zero patience for slow humans. Some mornings, the Great Tit's call echoes through the woodland like an old wheelbarrow wheel in need of a repair. Sharp, repetitive, and strangely ineffective. Have a listen. As odd as it sounds to us, this call serves an important purpose. To another Great Tit nearby, this repetitive song is a clear message. This part of the woodland is already occupied. For such a small bird, the Great Tit seems to have an endless appetite. Before long, many will leave the woodland behind for an easy option: bird feeders. Seeds, peanuts, suet. If food is available, chances are this little opportunist will find it. And once it does, it rarely keeps quiet about it for long. At feeders like this, the Great Tit is rarely completely alone. What begins as one hungry visitor can quickly become two, and before long the woodland feels full of conversation. Listen closely, and you'll hear a constant chorus in the background. Short calls, quick exchange like little reminders that this patch of woodland is very much alive. For such a confident bird, the Great Tit can be surprisingly tolerant here, at least for long enough to grab a meal. Look at it. Greedy, confident, and apparently convinced the feeders was put here exclusively for its personal use. Unlike the blue tit from the previous video, which often uses a single foot to handle its food, this bird takes a firmer approach. Using both feet, it pins its meal tightly against a branch, holding it steady, sometimes even using its weight to help break it apart before pecking with precision. It's a simple technique, but an effective one. And when there's nothing obvious to eat, the searching never really stops. It probes at the bark, taps along the surface, always testing, always checking, because hidden beneath these branches could be insects, larvae, or something worth the effort. For this bird, every inch of the woodland is full of possibility. You just have to know where to look. Another great tit has discovered a monkey nut hidden among the dried grass. Rather than eating it straight away, it begins pecking hard at the shell, not to finish the meal here, but to crack an opening first. Once the hard work is done, the nut can be carried away. Somewhere quieter, somewhere safer, and most importantly, somewhere it doesn't have to share. But food is only part of the story. For much of the year, the Great Tit is constantly on the move. But when the spring arrives, attention turns elsewhere. Tree cavities, old holes in wood, and especially bird boxes like this, can quickly become valuable real estate. A safe place to raise a family matters here. The female builds a short nest inside, often using moss, feathers, fur, and plant material to create a warm space for eggs and eventually hungry chicks. And judging by the amount of food adults seem to collect, hungry might be putting it mildly. This adult has returned to the feeder yet for another meal. But it isn't alone for long. Before long, 3 young Great Tits arrive. At first glance, they look much like adults, but look closer and you'll notice their colours are softer. The bright white cheeks of the adult have a yellowish tint instead. One of the clues that these birds are still young. For these fledglings, the woodland is still a new world. A world full of opportunities and challenges. Food must be found, dangers must be avoided, and lessons still need to be learned. For now, they stay close together, exploring their surroundings and learning from the adults around them. As the youngsters feed, the parent keeps watch nearby, although every now and then it can't resist helping itself to another bite. From my own personal experience watching this bird, it definitely lives up to the name, the Great Tit. Always jumping around, never staying still for long can be an absolute nightmare for photographers and videographers trying to get the perfect shot. But apart from that frustration, it's a beautiful woodland bird. From its striking colours to its bold personality, spending time learning its behaviour has been fun.